Quincy Adams, the 6th president.
John Quincy Adams is the perfect example of a president who did his best work when he wasn't president. The most important thing he did, I would argue, is become a congressman after his presidency, where he spent 20 years fighting against the slave power in the South and trying to roll back restrictions on anti-slavery petitions in Congress. Before he was president, he was our country's really first professional diplomat, posted in 4 countries, was Secretary of State under James Monroe. The Monroe Doctrine was really written by John Quincy Adams. And so he's largely responsible for our country's foreign policy in the beginning. He was also a huge advocate for things like internal improvements, trains and canals and roads. He was the first person to advocate for a national university. And so he was an incredibly important figure, except for his presidency. And that's because in his presidency, he was really pinned in by the fact that he was largely unpopular. He was seen as winning the presidency in an illegitimate way because of the corrupt bargain he made with Henry Clay. And he was really president for 4 years when the pro-Jackson forces were taking off. And so a lot of things that he wanted to do, like a national university, he wasn't able to do because he wasn't able to get the votes in Congress. And so his presidency is really unfortunately, the least important part of his career. And really, he's important for the things that would come true. Things like a highway system, things like state universities, national universities, funding science development and research, and fighting against, most importantly, the pro-slavery forces in Congress. And that's why John Quincy Adams is somebody you should know and somebody you should remember, and also is a perfect example of a politician who stayed in politics even into old age when he wanted to retire because he thought it was the right thing to do, and there were moral issues that he wanted to fight for until the very end, and is therefore the kind of ideal example of a public servant.